Well, hello. It has been a long time. My name is Marcus.
And I'm Debbie.
And welcome to Discussions. So, how have you been, Debbie?
Well, apparently we've fallen off the face of the earth for the last, 2.5 months?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say here, but it's been a while. But then again, no one has to say. Hadn't heard a bad
I haven't heard any. We've missed you. Where have you been?
I'm telling you. Well, I've been trying to work with our sponsors. Oh, hang on. We don't have sponsors. Yes, it has been busy. Extremely busy. School,
lot going on.
Lots going on in the Hill household here.
Well, and a lot of things going on in the world.
It is.
I'm stressed.
It is. I know. I'm breaking out all over my forehead. My voice is changing. I'm going through the change again. I think I'm going through menopause.
Menopause?
I think I'm menopausing.
Our children, I'm sure, are going to be thrilled that we're back on the air.
I know. They don't listen to it anyway.
I know. But all their friends do, so that's good.
I know. Hopefully we'll get some good comments on this one right here. So, anyway.
Have you missed us? Let us know, have you missed us?
Yeah, please. Hit that like button.
Subscribe and like.
I'm going to say that what I hear on my podcast, on the podcast that I listen to. So, you know what? Hit that like button. Subscribe to us here,
Let your friends know.
Give us 5 stars and write a review of how we really are. So, anyway, what are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. You said you had something you were going to discuss.
I do. I got a good one here. I don't know which way to go here. Should I give you the 2 topics and you pick?
You go whatever way you want. If you want to choose, then we can do the next one on the next topic.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'll hold off on the other one. I think the other one will be a little bit more of a serious one. Not like serious, but I tell you what we want to talk about. As you know, I've been taking some classes online, and right now I am taking a anatomy and physiology, a hybrid class, which I did not know it was a hybrid class where the book section is
getting educated.
Is all online, and we have labs every Monday. And she'll do a little teaching on the labs here. So, with my medical background, I've had different types of A&P classes before, but nothing with a lab. And I tell you, it's a tough one. It's a tough one here. But I tell you what's really aggravating me.
Babe, tell us what's aggravating you.
The other night when I came home, I was very angry.
I know you were angry.
I was upset. I thought I was going to cry, but I didn't.
No, you weren't.
I know I weren't.
I weren't.
I thought I was going to be cussing.
I believe.
I tell you what gets me, and my wife can weigh in on this also. So I have.
He's only been going to school for 20 years.
You know what? I've been working on trying to get into nursing school since the 90s. And so, But
if you don't know, we have 5 children, so somebody's got to provide for them. So
I am the paycheck.
You are the paycheck.
Hey,
well,
baby,
okay, I work 500 jobs too.
500 jobs.
Yes, but my jobs apparently don't.
500 jobs add up to 1 paycheck, but she's doing great.
Well, 500 jobs add up to barely a paycheck.
But you know what? If you'd delivered garbage,
I know.
You want to tell that story?
We'll save for another time.
2 more glasses, you'll be telling the story here. No, here's the thing. So we've been going on. October? We started. I think maybe the end of August, beginning of September with this class here. So our teacher has never told us her first name, but her first name is Doctor, and she made that very clear. She's a doctor of genetics. That's her PhD in. So what gets me in this class is that, me, I'm a very observant people watcher and such. And
I was going to say, you're not that observant.
I am.
You're a people watcher.
That's what I'm saying. It's all the same.
But you're not observant.
So, no, not to you. Not to your needs. I'm observant to other people's needs. And my needs.
And your needs.
And my needs. No, but this is what getting me here. I don't think no class needs to be handed to you or anything, but I tell you one thing. The information she's given us is, in my thought, we have way too much information, way too much PowerPoints and way too many outlines. You need to know this. And I understand. You got to read, you got to study. But how you get all this stuff and you get a 75 question test. So, but that's not per se the gripe. The gripe is after we had our first unit test a couple of weeks ago, and we do a bunch of little like quizzes along the way. So, one girl, no one talks in this class. I've never seen the most coldest class ever, but there's this one girl I've been talking to a little bit that she ended up. I asked her how she doing on the test. She goes, "I did horrible." And I was listening. You hear other people. I was listening to other people talk, and it sounded like on that test there that I don't even know if anyone's passed the quiz or passed that first major test here. So and this has been a couple of weeks ago. So now we're getting ready. This week. So I think next week is going to open up. We're going to have 3 days to take the next Unit 2 test. Not once our instructor has mentioned us or say, hey, the scores weren't that good. What's going on? She's just pumping the information, not really caring, not really anything. And it just burns my hide that this is a first-time hybrid class. They've never done an AMP 210 like this before. So I feel like we're guinea pigs. Paid at least an average of about $1,100 total for the class. And that's not even including, the book was $270 for the book. So what my gripe is that, it's hard to find, teachers. I took statistics and did that online. I felt like I gave birth at the end of the year. But I tell you one thing, I worked hard, but this teacher, she gave ample opportunities. She talked to us. She had, anytime she was saying that, hey, I'm going to be online, or like a Zoom meeting, you have any questions? I wouldn't have questions, but I wanted just to let her know I was there available. And, we talked, and she gave ample opportunities to, maybe better our grade, or if we need help on things. Not this teacher here. And so it just gets me that it's just hard to find good teachers and good instructors. So that's my gripe.
Is that your gripe?
Yes. You're in the school system.
Am I?
Well, you work behind the desk.
Well, okay.
But you see a lot.
I do see a lot. And here's the problem. And this is a national problem. And, first of all, when COVID hit, people found out that it was more profitable to sit on unemployment than actually work a job. And the people that are working jobs realized they're really not getting paid enough to put up with the garbage that goes along with their job. And I know you people know what I'm talking about, because if anything of COVID has made me reflect, it's the reflection of, am I really getting paid what I'm worth? And am I really putting up with more than I should have to for the pay? And so, seeing, and it's not just teachers. I mean, you're an EMS, and, and all the first responders.
I couldn't do my job by computer, by virtual.
No, but I mean, it's just one of those things. You sit back and you think, of all the stress factors of those people that actually stayed working during this whole thing. We didn't get to sit at home. We actually had to be out there. We had to be doing our job. I do real estate, so I mean, it's not like, I can sit at home. You have to be out there. Some of us don't get the opportunity to sit back, and those of us that sit back and say, I still got family to feed. I'm not going to sit back and collect a paycheck that, or an unemployment check or whatever you want to call it. Like, I still need to do what I've been trained to do. And unfortunately, those are the people that get treated the worst. And if you know what I'm talking about, drop a comment below it. But, these are the people that unfortunately are what holds us together as far as a nation is concerned. But we're also the ones that I feel like we've built up this level of what we're willing to take, and it seems like it goes higher and higher and higher because we have this fear in the back of our head that if we don't take it, then we won't have a job. And you know, right now, I feel like there's, in certain jobs, like, some people have just said, I'm not willing to take it anymore, and they've punched out. And those are usually your best workers. I mean, there are some good ones, few and far between, who are just hanging in there for retirement. But for the most part, anyone coming into it is looking at that paycheck going, yeah, I'm not willing to do it. I'm not willing to take it, and I'm not willing to, put up with the extra.
Where's the pride in though? I mean,
But at some point, pride is going to cost dollars. And I mean, I also think of the same thing, that I've got to have pride in myself to say that I'm not willing to put up with being treated less than what I deserve. Because, okay, you and I are both the same as far as we're hard workers. We've always worked multiple jobs to provide for our family, because we do have a big family. We haven't provided on it. We haven't sat back and say, well, I'm just going to sit back on government assisted. That's just not in me. It's not in you. We have always worked and worked and worked, and we have good work ethic. My kids aren't geniuses, but by golly, we've talked about this a million times. They will never starve. They will never not have a roof over their head, because if we didn't teach them anything, we taught them how to work. They may not be straight A students. They may not be, Rhodes Scholars, but by golly, they know how to work. They know how to show up for a job. They know how to do their best.
They're good citizens.
They are good citizens, and that's really what I feel proud about, is that, I'd love to have an honor roll student. I'd love to have, a kid
more
that
scholarships
gets straight,
a lot more scholarships.
Straight A scholarship money, full ride. It's just not going to happen in our.
You know why? Because we weren't dysfunctional family.
Exactly.
But that's another podcast.
That's a whole nother
podcast talk.
But in that same aspect, we've taught them to be good workers, and sometimes when you teach your kids, or when you've grown up being taught how to be a good worker, part of that teaching also means you're willing to take more, because you're not willing to just walk away. And it's hard, and teachers don't get paid very much, and so
you know what? I don't know about with this teacher here. I mean, she's teaching.
It's a community college. It's not like she's.
But see, you know what? Then pack your bags, because here's my thing. Here's the thing.
But there's not that's what you're not understanding, though, is you can say pack your bags. It's like this whole thing with the vaccine and stuff like that. I don't care which way you believe it. It's your personal decision. But the fact that so many companies and so many organizations are willing to tell these people who have been there from day one that to pack your bags after they've been frontline workers. And this is another podcast all in itself.
Well, we're on the 4 now.
I mean, I just feel like, that's a slap in the face to these people, because you know what? It was okay for them to be putting on N95 masks and, and suits, chemical suits and all that to treat these COVID patients at the beginning, when we had no clue of how it was transmitted, how long it was, what the death rate was, and it was okay for these people to, work 24/7. I mean, even you would come home and get undressed in the garage, and we'd put your clothes right into the washer, wash them separately with, vinegar and different things just to make sure it killed all the germs.
You took care of your man.
I did. But it's like, before we knew all this, but you never questioned about whether you were going to go to work the next day. You never questioned, and these people never question, teachers, yeah, you have a 50-50, you have some that were like, oh my God, I'm not going to work, I got to be in the room with all these kids. But then you had other, teachers that were like, this is my job, this is what I signed up for, I love these children, I'm going to go into work, and yet now, fast forward 18 months later, and these are the people being treated like crap. And so I don't blame some of these people for walking away from the industry if they can afford to.
Right.
And so what do you have left when the good ones walk away? Because you still have to hold class.
Thank God, now I see where you're going with
this. You see
this.
what I'm saying? You still have to hold class. You still have to have a hospital. You still have to have nursing homes. You still have to have medical facilities. You still have to have all these industries. And unfortunately, when the good ones walk away, you kind of have to take what you get.
Well, but see, with that also being said, I know because she also put in, with we had a couple of things, at the very beginning when you take A and P, a lot of it's like like cell division is really just you just got some subjects you just gotta plow through it. Well, she put on more PowerPoints, but it had her discussion when she was teaching this when all the college campuses were closed. So she has all these PowerPoints already with she as in a lectured form from her. Now she put a couple out, and that really helped me on some of the things because I felt like I was in the classroom. I even emailed her. I said, feel free to put more of these on, but she won't because this is a hybrid class and we're supposed to read, and all she has to do is just upload it.
Okay.
She already has it. So here's my thing. I'm a firm believer. 99%, and maybe I'm saying 99%. Could be a little lower than that. I think a lot of and I'm talking with adults who's paying money out of pocket, coming in after working 1 or 2 jobs and coming in at night. Shoot, I'm driving 52 miles one way to go to class. So they are invested and they want to do good in this. Wouldn't you say that's going to reflect? Let's say the majority of the people fail. I say that reflects on how the teacher taught.
No, because
I think so to a big degree.
Okay, because so I'm going to tell you the way it works is when it comes to regular, like, high school, when you go from high school where a lot of your, better schools are data driven, okay, which means if we don't graduate them and if we don't have good test scores, the way we rank nationally goes down. When it gets to higher education, like community colleges, universities, or whatever, it doesn't necessarily come down to how well we or how many we graduate. What it comes down to is the ones that we graduate. Are they passing their national registries? Are they passing their nursing exam? Are these people going out into productive, business school or business jobs?
Well, they want to a lot of them. They want to go into nursing, and so I mean, we don't really have a lot of. I would say probably we maybe have some early 20s in here, but we have many that are
But I'm going to tell you right now, looking at the community colleges versus universities, the community colleges, they don't have as much stake in the game because here's the thing. They're always going to have people coming there because they can't afford the bigger universities.
But
So how much are they paying these teachers that are there? Because the universities obviously are getting the draw because look at Clemson and Carolina. Okay, kids go there, whatever. You talk about smaller community colleges. Okay, kids go there because they can't afford it or because they can't live away from home or because their parents don't trust them to go away to big school.
But point taken. But the thing about it is, it rolls back into I would say, to the instructor of anyone of wanting to say, hey, let's say if the majority of the people failed this test, then you want to think, okay, and this is how but
that's where I'm going at. Because you have pride in your work. You know what these people are thinking is, what are they going to do? Fire me? They got nobody else to teach it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what irritates me.
You know what? They don't, and this is where this society has gone. And it started well before COVID. I think this whole upcoming generation has this, and again, that's a whole nother discussion about this next coming generation because I got my thoughts on that. But, you and I come from a generation of parents who were taught, you don't live off the government, that's degrading or whatever, that, you work for what you have, you do everything. I mean, I remember my grandmother telling me, she didn't buy a piece of furniture till she had saved enough money to pay cash for it. You don't buy on credit. I think we're the last generation that has that thought of pride in what we do. Now, we may not get paid a whole heck of a lot for it, but by golly, we do have pride in the fact that it's not necessarily, we may not love our jobs, because I can tell you right now, my second job, I don't love it. I love my real estate. I don't love my second job. But you know what? I do still walk through those doors every single day.
To do a good job.
To do a good job because it's a reflection of who I am. And I will never give that up. As much as those people irritate me on certain days, I will never give that up because it's not in me to do a lower quality of work because that is a reflection on myself. And unfortunately, this next generation and some of the people coming into the workforce now, they don't care because their theory is, you know what? They only pay me this much amount of money and that's all they're getting from me. And, you know, and I'm not saying this teacher is like that, but you know, when you are scraping the bottom of the barrel to fill positions, you know, you do get those people that are just like, I'm just here for the paycheck. I'm doing what I have to do to get by. You know what? If my test scores aren't great, oh well, because guess what? They ain't going to fire me because who else are they going to find to fill this position?
Well, they need to find someone because it just irritates me that people don't take pride in their work and what they do and reflect.
But you
know?
and I are not young chickens, so I mean, it's, you know, I mean, like I said, we come from a different generation, and so.
Well, she's not young nor neither old either.
Well, we don't know how she was raised.
I don't care.
And she could be too, you know, she could be.
She's a doctor.
But she could be
She's
a year
got that
out
PhD.
from. You know how it is. You know, you're a year out from retirement and you're already punched out.
That's it. I'm never going to punch out. You
well,
know,
you and I.
Oh, we're going to be
we'll
working
be working
forever.
Till we're 80. You know,
working.
But in the same aspect, you know, I will never sit back and say that anything was handed to me. We've worked for everything we have. We weren't ever given, you know, and you know, if it went wrong, we've gotten it. You know, that's who we are. But, you know, and it is frustrating because, you know, sometimes we are just tired because all we do is work. But I can proudly say that we never.
Oh, I think we're meant to work.
Well, the Bible says we're meant to work.
Yes, what I was saying.
But
work in a day of rest. And I'm not saying not work, not have any fun. But it's just one of those. I could not imagine. We always do it. Don't tell me that you don't do it out there who's listening. The one person, maybe two, who listens. That you always sit back and, what would I do if I win the lottery? Oh, that's another podcast. You sit back, and I sit back and really think I'm going to be like, to be honest with you.
We'll do that on the next one. We'll talk about the what ifs.
Ooh. Can we write it? Hey, how about this? Feel free if you want to comment on what ifs. Did you get that off the TV? You saw that off the commercial, didn't you?
No, I was just thinking about that.
Didn't Embassy come up with a show? They came up with a new thing called What If?
Maybe I've been watching one show for the last month, and that's all I watch. I don't watch TV.
Well, no. Actually, on a side note here, they coming out. It was kind of like that. What if I did not have this job? And basically, same character who leads 3 different lives with what ifs and the turnouts of it. I like the storyline, but I won't watch it.
All right. Well, we'll talk about lottery on the next one. But anyway, I got
some other ones for the next one.
All right. Well. All right. So, anyways, is that all your complaint is?
Do you feel better?
No.
I feel like you've vented. Are you more angrier?
I'm angrier.
Oh, yeah. You ain't hangry.
I'm not hangry, but it just frustrates me. I get very frustrated over the subject.
She's had a very bad week.
I have had a very stressful, but I'm going to save that. You know, I'm going to save that for another podcast of how I feel about the way people are raising their kids nowadays, because I got something to say, and you people are going to hear whether you like it or not, because I have raised...
Can we attach it to the school?
I have raised 5, again, not geniuses, but you know what? They're somewhat productive children. Somewhat.
Children, I love you.
Don't let him sugarcoat it.
That's mom talking, not me. Mom's a little frustrated right now.
I am a little frustrated now. But anyway.
Is
that all you had to say? Is gripe about your teacher?
Well, it kind of went a different direction, but that's how things go here. We just let it roll.
Let it roll.
So anyway.
And at this point, everybody's snoozing because they've lost interest on your college education.
No one cares. They listen to you all and rant. There's Debbie ranting again.
There I am.
Just rolling around. So anyway.
Rolling around.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folk. I can't say folks. I'm saying folk. Maybe one person is listening to it.
I think you're profiling.
Am I profiling? What, for one person?
Folk.
That don't make no sense. So anyway, thank you again for listening, whoever does listen. But we're back on track.
Are we?
Oh, I am. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start bringing some more
Guests on?
guests over. I might just go pick some people up off. Maybe I'll go down to Harbison and people just holding the sign saying, "We'll podcast for food."
How did you end up here with a sign? Tell me your story.
What's your story?
Everybody got a story.
Ooh, everybody's got a story. I can do that when I'm Ubering.
There you go.
Anyway. All right, well, yet again, my name is Marcus.
And I'm Debbie.
And thank you to listening to... I can't even do it right.
And thank you for listening to Yiscussions.
Thank you. See you later.